7 years after the invasion, Iraqis are still plagued by power cuts. And they still can't understand why.
The electricity is off. Just 1 hour of electricity today, not 2.
Just around the corner in East Baghdad, this engineer is trying to put right Iraq's electricity, one wire at a time. But cutting off a few electricity thieves is not going to fix the underlying structural chaos that has become a defining feature of Iraq's post-war landscape, visible overhead for all to see. The government says it is building massive new investment projects to meet Iraq's needs.
Now we're talking of adding more than 10,000 megawatts over the coming years, at the rate of 1,000 megawatts added each year.
But Iraqis have lost patience with delays and promises of more power tomorrow, always tomorrow. At an electricity protest in Basra in June, government forces opened fire on the demonstrators, killing one person and causing widespread anger.
They're fighting with bullets against the people who elected them. Have they no shame?
Iraq does have power stations, but the antiquated relics from Saddam's era are ground down by decades of war, sanctions, poor maintenance, and sabotage. And new stations have their own problems, even though fitted with all the modern technology. This one is less efficient in hot weather, in a country of 120-degree summers. And engineers grumble that Iraq's stifling bureaucracy won't let them import spare parts that they urgently need. But the fundamental problem is that for years, supply has not kept up with demand. And experts say buying enough power stations needs political consensus, not engineers.
It's not a technical issue. It's a political issue.
It is also a business issue.
The government electricity, I swear to God, 1 hour. This is what happens.
Prime Minister Nouri Kamal al-Maliki promised to cut off VIPs and electricity thieves, but also blamed Iraqis for using too much.
We are happy that the citizen can afford air conditioners and air coolers and electric devices for his home, but he must recognize that there is a power crisis.
Determined to look tough, the government sent out engineers and police.
They just found 6 cables up on this pole here, which have been illegally spliced into these shops here. And this has been like this for years, the owners say. They have no faith in the government to provide real electricity.
To the problems of supply and demand, add high Iraqi expectations.
Why were we happy when we got rid of the dictatorship? We thought things would improve. Nothing's improved. Why could Kuwait restore its electricity in such a short time? Because they have a good administration.
Mr. Farhan's name translates as happy in English. Not anymore, he grumbles. 20 minutes later, his illicit electricity has been cut off. And the enforcer from the ministry had no sympathy.
They didn't come to us. Straight away they just did the easiest thing, attached their wires to the network, and that was that.
But for the more vulnerable, Iraq's power crisis is about life and health, not saving a few dinars. 12-year-old Fatima Rajab has a skin condition brought on by heat and chemicals. Her father says his children's discomfort makes the power cuts even harder to bear.
Of course, I sometimes thank God that we can provide our children with coolers and ceiling fans. But for those who cannot, I swear to God, I feel for them.